Hello, everyone, and happy National Card Making Day. I am Marcie Bessaker. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I am here on a day I'm normally not doing a live, so I might be surprising a bunch of people, but it is card making day, so I had to come up with a fun project to share with you. And so we are going to be creating this with a Rooted in Nature on a foggy day. And I have two other cards I'm going to share with you today too. So I thought while we're waiting for people to get on, I'm going to keep you updated with a few things. So you guys knew we had neighbors moving in next door. Our neighbors moved out and we do have new neighbors. We're going to go over and meet with them today. My husband's talked over the fence with them, with the husband, but it's a husband wife and they have a 2.5-year little girl and it looks like a little puppy. So hi Steph. So that's what's going on in the neighborhood. We do have another neighborhood, a neighbor moving, and she can't breathe in the valley very well, so they're moving to the coast, which will be really nice for them. So that's what's going on there. You guys know I left because my granddaughter was going into kindergarten, and so we went to go see her off, and that was her first and last week of kindergarten. They're in Oregon, and Oregon has shut down schools again, and or at least where she's at. So my daughter is now a kindergarten teacher in addition to her working at home because she does work at home. So that's the update. It is Saturday, Steph, but it's Happy National Card Making Day. Bonnie, welcome, welcome. I always love to have you come watch. Jeannie, welcome. Thanks, you guys. I know it's unexpected, but it's card making day. So my project for tomorrow will be today, but I have another super fun project tomorrow, and I had to switch them because I'm not making a card tomorrow, but it's going to be something super fun. It's not really a 3D item, and that's all I can tell you, but I'm super excited about it. So this morning, while I'm waiting for people still, I'll let you know really quickly. My hair was all done. I was ready for videos, but we had an appointment to go see my husband's work new building. They're getting a building redone. They're taking two offices in two towns right next to each other, combining them, and it's literally a block and a half away from the house. And so we had to go down there and we had to put hard hats on. I just did my hair, did all my product, got everything ready, hard hat. It was not pretty. So I had to come back home, do my hair. Anyway, so it's 2 hair washes already. It was before 9:30. Okay, so let's get bitty. Oh, good, Bonnie. I'm glad you get notified. And that's the thing about it. You guys subscribe, hit notify. You'll get notified when I'm on. And that's what my goal was today, is to get everybody to hopefully get notified. So let's get busy. I have 3 cards I'm going to create today, but the first card will be the main technique card, which will be this one. I know it's card making day. That's true, Bonnie. I was willing to rewash my hair and make it look better than what it did. You should have seen it. Hi, Olivia. So I want to do this card first for you guys because it's a super fun technique. My friend Charlene reminded me of this. I've seen it. I've been wanting to look it up, and I've done something kind of like it, but this is a little bit different than what I've done before. Honestly, I can't even remember how I did it before. I think it was similar to this, but this is just too easy. So I wanted to show you this first, and then we're going to make 2 other fun cards and get busy with those. And if you're not able to hang out and you need to watch the rest of it, because this might go a little long, it's 3. I don't do short videos. Sorry, that's the way I am. But before we get started, a reminder, our designer series paper is on sale, so don't miss out on it. It's a fantastic way to use up your DSP. I've linked Kylie. I will link her on this video also so that I can, you guys can see it. And so it'll be after, it takes a while to process our videos. And once that happens, then I can put the links up above. So on the top right side, you'll see a little eye. And that's where you'll click to see the videos I've linked, or they'll be at the end. The other thing I want to share with you is the paper pumpkins coming up. The holiday one, you have until the 10th if you want this holiday paper pumpkin. I will do a video on some alternatives with it, so don't miss out on that. Okay, here is something new I have not shared with you yet. I'm super excited. I'm waiting for my mail. I was silly and didn't do overnight because I forgot, but there's a new guy in town, a new bundle in town. Demonstrators, we were able to buy it at the first of the month, this month. You guys can buy it November 3rd. So it is called the Curvy Celebrations. And it's got, look at these curvy dies back here on the blue card. I'm super excited about this. Now I'm going to show you another 2 slides. I think they made some adjustments to it because I noticed it was taken down. And then somebody told me that they were making an adjustment. So it might be a price or number or something. But I wanted you to see the pictures. Look at all those sentiments up there on the left. And then there's dies on the right. And this is called Curvy Celebrations. It's available at the beginning of November. Then you have the stamps on the left side here with the bow and the trees. Those match the curves of the dies up above, just like the stamps on the left. And then you've got this really cute classic Christmas, and it's a 6x6 paper. And so that is coming at the beginning of November. So the deal is this set and bundle is going to be available in our January catalog. But this is the early release, kind of like our Ornate Gardens was last year. That was an early release for our main catalog. This is kind of an early release for you to get. Hi, Tashana. This is going to be an early release for you to get that's actually not going to be available in a catalog until January. But this is our sneak peek. You could get it in November. So I'm getting that in the mail on Tuesday. So it probably won't be Tuesday's video, but you'll probably see a video before next Sunday. So make sure you subscribe and hit the like so you can get notified, and I will be going live with that. All right, now busy time. So I'm going to use these 2 dies here in the Pine Woods. Other than that, there's no die cutting. There will be, on any of the 3 cards I'm going to do, there will be embossing folder, which is going to be the Old World. And that's going to be for the snow. You guys have seen me do that before. But I'm going to show you a little helpful tip with this. So, and I fussy cut this out because guess who forgot to buy the dies to this beautiful set, Rooted in Nature. I wanted to do something that steps out of my norm and do something like masculine sympathy, something like that. I think this is a really great set. This is a double set. So when you buy this set, it comes together. So I just rubber band it so I remember that there's 2 when I'm going to use it. So I'm going to set that aside. And then a walk in the woods. I am going to be using the mushrooms and the leaf and sentiments. And I really liked Everything Will Be Okay. So I think that is just a great little sentiment. Well, all of these are, but just to kind of be like, you know, don't worry about it. There's so much going on right now. I think this is going to be a great card to send off to somebody. So let's get busy. Whew, I'm excited. 3 cards. Here we go. All right. So for my first card, which, where, I'm telling you, I just had, oh, here, right here. Okay. So we're going to start with the technique and get this part done. It's a super simple card. We have our white for the inside. I'm using Mossy Meadow and Crumb Cake. All the measurements, everything for this card will be on my blog. My other cards, I will give you the measurements today here. I don't think, I kind of decided to add them in just because it is our crafty day. And so why not? I'm just going to do 3 cards, and if I'm here doing them by myself, that's okay. All right. We're going to make the sky. And what we're going to do is it's just kind of a foggy, hazy day. So we're going to do balmy blue and soft sea foam. So I'm going to start with I think I'm going to start with the soft sea foam. I don't remember what I started with yesterday, but we're going to go with soft sea foam. I have my blending brush here. So just grab some ink. I always start off and then just come on. So just kind of go on, and you might not see it dark right away, but that's okay. It'll layer up. Start off, come on. And we're going to go down a ways because we want it to be behind the trees. And because we're using the mossy meadow on the trees, it's going to be a dark, the trees are going to be dark anyway, so it's going to be okay. So now, let me pull you in a little bit closer so you can see. All right. Let me fix my light here for you. All right. So I just kind of start off and come back on, and I'm good with my green. I just want a little bit. I think it adds to that kind of haze color. And now we're going to take the balmy blue, do the same thing. Start off, come on, and you're just going to kind of make it look like a night, kind of a gloomy day. And just keep blending. These brushes are super soft, super nice. There's all different brands out there. Stampin' Up! Does not sell blending brushes, but I just like to use these. You notice I folded my corner up there, but that's all right. I'll show you something to fix that. All right, so I'm going to push these aside. All right, so that's our sky. Now we're going to take our mossy meadow. And we're going to start with our trees. So what I did is I chose, these trees here are on one stamp. Okay, so there's these two, and then there's this one, but this one looks so much like these, and in this card here, I really don't think you needed to have a third tree to make it look different, because you're really not going to see that. So I wasn't worried about that. But what you're going to do is you're going to ink up your ink pad here. Let me move that over. And you're just going to kind of start stamping. So I wanted 2. Now remember, for newer stampers, if you can see how I have more ink on this side because I stamped off the paper. It didn't stamp a full image. You never want to do your second generation right now, because if you do, you're going to have that really dark, harsh side, and then the second generation. So first generation was this. Now I'm going to stamp off, and I'm going to do a second generation. And see how now you have the lighter trees. I want darker over here. I think I'm going to do darker here. And then I'm going to do a second generation. All right. So just kind of, stamp where you want. And then I'm going to do another dark here. I'm going to stamp off and do a light there. And I'm going to leave that like it is for right now. Okay. So now we're going to just set this aside for a minute. I'm going to pull in Whisper White. But before I start the Whisper White, I'm going to dry this off just a little bit. So hit it with your heat gun and just kind of dry it. I can see some wet spots are just a little bit shiny. I just want to make sure that that's dry. Okay, and that's really enough. But I just like to make sure I just take a towel and just kind of do that just to make sure that it's not damp now. Now I'm going to take my white. I'm going to close my green for, well, I'm going to just move it because I'm going to use it right now, but I don't want to stick my sponge in it. So this is my sponge I use for white. And I don't know what that dark spot is, but it doesn't come off. But because the white, I haven't really used it much, I just kind of make sure Now be careful. I squeezed this one time and I think it had like a little clog on the tip and it went side to side, all over the place. So be careful of that. So now I'm just gonna dab up here, but kind of bring the new white in. I don't want it crazy wet. And I'm just going to swipe across. Just swipe across. Now in the sky, I don't mind dabbing a little bit, kind of like you're getting clouds. I don't want big white like that, so just kind of twist a little as you do it. I don't mind there being like a cloudy look in the sky. But on your green, I just like to go back and forth until it just kind of blends where you want it, like that. Hi Karen, welcome. So just kind of, now you can see the sky is a little cloudy. Now here I'm just going to pounce a little in the corner to just kind of get that harsh mark off. Do you see how that harsh mark kind of disappeared there? You can still see the fold, but that'll fix when we glue it. So I just kind of do that, and it's just hazy enough for me. I think I'm going to go down just a little farther though, because okay, now I'm good with that. Again, we're going to dry it off a little bit. So get your heat tool. Okay, dry it off a bit. Now we're going to pull back in our Mossy Meadow, and now we're going first generation. Okay, so now we have what looks like the trees are in the forefront and not in the fog. The fog is kind of up the hill a little bit. All right, so we're done with the Mossy Meadow for right now. Set that aside. Okay, now what I did is I took, okay, let me move this because this is the messy part out of the way. Ta-da! Look at that, cleaned it right up. Okay, so now we're just gonna set this aside for a bit now to let that kind of dry. Now I took a white piece of paper, and you guys have seen me do this before, but here's a little helpful hint. So that was my white piece of paper. I'm gonna zoom back out just a little bit. Okay, now what I did is I took my two dies from my pine woods. And I went with the larger piece because I'm going to use this again, you know I will. So I went ahead and, well, it embosses the other way, so let me turn it over. When I put it in, it went the other way. All right, so I put this die here, and I put this one right here. And then I just cut it, and now I need to figure out what I want to do with it. So now what I want to do is I want this to be like my main. I want the bumps to be upward. I just like them better like that. And then you just can kind of figure out where you want your mountains. And then you can turn this piece and kind of decide, do you want this one to be like a smoother mountain? Do you want it up closer, down lower? You know, kind of figure out what you want. And I think I want it kind of like this. I want to see some of that snow in there. And then I don't know if I want another mountain or just a hill. And I think I'm going to do it like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue on the back of here. Now, again, of course, I used my glue, but it's being a little stingy. And now it's all over the place. Okay, so there's my glue. And I'm going to add my glue like right about there. Okay, so now kind of figure out where the back is. I'm going to take my larger scissors. Now you want to be careful because this is still kind of wet up here. And this is still kind of sliding around, which is okay. I just want to see how far down I'm going to put this. And I just want it a little bit. And I can move that up. I'm going to move this up just a little. That's why I like the liquid. Now I'm going to move it up a little bit. And then I think I'm going to... So this kind of gives you some playing room. Give yourself some extra paper just to kind of get an idea of what you want to do with your hills. All right, so I'm going to leave my hills like that. All right, so I'm going to let this dry for just a bit. Now I have this other piece that I can use for my hills. So I'm probably just going to put this back here because I know I'm going to use it with those dies to create my hills. So I'm going to leave that there for the moment. And now I'm going to do my tree. And I'm going to show you how I did my tree. To pop it up right here. And we're going to wait for this to dry before you add your sentiment. All right, so here's our tree, and I'm going to pull in our markers. So what I did, I'm going to show you on this one, stamp it first so you can see where your branches are. So if you can look here, you can see that there's the brown, and you can kind of see where your branches are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my brown first. So up here is brown, right here. There's a little branch like right here. And it does not have to be perfect. It just kind of gives you an idea. And it looks a little more natural, I think. Oh, thanks, Tashana. Yeah, when I saw this, like I said, my friend Charles kind of said, have you seen that technique? And I had, and I meant to go back and kind of check it out. Because I did a technique like this before, but I don't think I used white ink. And I'm not sure. I'm talking years ago, so I don't remember exactly how I did it before. So I was excited to kind of look this up and check it out because I had not done that, and I couldn't tell you who I saw it from because I saw multiple videos. I was just watching different techniques, and it's and so I just decided, all right, I want to share this, and I've been wanting to use this set. I already had this set out to use, so I thought, ooh, that's a perfect one to incorporate the technique with. But there's a lot of them out there. All right, so now I'm just coloring with my Mossy Meadow. So now you have my green and my early espresso, and I'm going to huff on it, of course. And stamp. And then I like to hold it for just a bit, and then now you can see you've got your brown and your green. It looks a little more realistic, and so I'm going to set that aside. And what I should have done is done that on the inside of here for you, so I'm going to do it again really quick. But I also already have this fussy cut because guess who again forgot to purchase the dies. They'll be here Tuesday. I'm like, no, I know I have the dies, but I didn't. So really quick again, I'm just going to go over by looking at what I just did. There's that, that. And there's a little branch right there. And if you cover it with green, I mean, it's not going to hurt. Hi, Karen. And now I'm just going to go over it. And it's so quick. What I like to do is I like to do the smaller color first, like I did the early espresso. Because if it dries a little bit more than the green, I'm not too worried about that. I really just want my tree to be really green and pretty. And you're going to still see the brown. And by huffing on it, of course, it moistens it up, and usually it's not an issue, especially when this is just 2 colors. It's not that bad. And I just like to make sure my main color is, now this is my inside, I'm going to do it off. My main color is bold. All right, so there's the inside of the card. I like to do it off. You don't want your tree floating up here, right? So that's my inside. We'll just set that there. All right, now we're going to pull this back in. It's a little bit damp still. And I know we used a heat gun with that. But what I thought was kind of cool is I did this, and it kind of looks, the ink kind of faded into the fog a little bit, which I was okay with. So that's what we're going to do. If it turns out into the fog, I'm okay. It's part of the scene. And I liked the words on the card. I didn't need a label to pop up. All right, so it looks nice and dark now, but it may fade in just a tad because it's a little bit damp still. All right, so now let's get ready to put this together. I'm going to trim the rest off. I'm kind of holding it at a weird angle because it's still wet and I don't want my fingerprints on it. All right, and the other 2 cards I have ready is using the same set. All right, so now what I'm going to try, I think what we're going to do is I'm going to be smart, and I'm going to set this aside for just a bit to dry a little more. No, I think it'll be, I just don't want the sentiment to, okay, we're going to move this aside for just a bit. But let me show you the tree. So I took dimensionals. I took a big one and I put it on like kind of right there where it had plenty of space. And I did another one up here. Okay, then I took, oh, here it is. I took 2 little dimensionals and I just put them on the 2 branches that were kind of out there a bit. And then you can see right here, I went straight up and I cut one of the little ones in half. And I put that towards the bottom. Okay. And you want to get the little one on the base there. And now what I did is I tucked it underneath the first bit of snow there. And make sure your foam square is, your dimensional stuck underneath, directly underneath your tree there. All right, so there's our tree. There's our card. You can see the sentiment still a little wet, but you see how it's starting to fade a little bit into the clouds, which I think is kind of cool. So I'm going to put this card together later, but this is what it will look like. I just wanted it to dry because I don't want to turn it over and then get it all messed up. But that is our first card, and that's a super easy technique using your creating your fog. So I hope you enjoyed that card. So I'm going to set this aside, and now we're going to move on to another card. All right, so for our second card, thank you. Glad you liked it. For our second card, we are going to create this fun card. Look how cute and simple. No die cutting. Now, would I have die cut this had I had the dies? Maybe. I might have popped the tree up. But I kind of like the look of this. I didn't put stones on it because I'm kind of thinking it could be a masculine card for somebody. Words are never enough. I thought it could be thank you. Oh, Felicia, thank you. Thanks, Shauna. It could be a thank you. Thanks, Steph. It could be a thank you. It could be words are not enough. Sorry for your loss. I mean, there's so many things it could be for. So I'm going to pull this one back in just so people know what we did the first one here. All right. So for the second one, super simple. Again, we're going to do kind of the same technique for, all right, we're going to take out our green. And I'm going to set that there. Let's do this first so we can let it be drying. We're going to do our tree. Again, we're going to do the same technique. I'm going to do the brown first. So I'm looking at the brown, and you can kind of see the branches on this one a little easier. It's funny, like I said, I had these videos scheduled for tomorrow. I was thinking I'll do them tomorrow. And then I was like, what am I thinking? It's World Card Day. I've got to do a card. So now my project tomorrow is something completely different. I'm super excited about it. Okay, I think that's enough brown. And now we're going to do our green. All right, so now you're just coloring in. Going kind of around where your brown was. And it's a tree. I mean, I think if it overlaps or you don't get the exact, you know, brown and green, I don't think it's that big of a deal. No one's going to be dissecting your tree. And if so, if you really do something and you're like, oh man, I really messed up, move your sentiment. Put your sentiment over. Everybody knows it's a tree. We don't have to see the exact tree, right? All right, so here we go. And you guys know my grandson just turned 2 last week, and it seems like all of a sudden he's just talking up a storm. And it's just so cute. He's just so cute. He's learning popsicle. That's his new word, popsicle. He says backhoe perfectly fine. He loves tractors. Not sure why. They live in a city in Seattle, but he loves tractors. All right. And then just put your tree on there. I'm kind of thinking my paper should have been taller now that oh no, that's fine. Okay, so there's our tree. And I like how like some of it dries a little more and lighter a little bit more. And so that's like where the sun's coming in. You can see the brown. It just looks so fun. All right. Love, love, love it. Now, I decided to go with a trim on the top and a trim on the bottom and not on the side. I did the white a little longer just so you know where to cut it and you know for sure that it is going to fit on top of your, this is Bumblebee. I use Bumblebee, Crumb Cake, and Mossy Meadow. And I love Mossy Meadow and crumb cake together. It really is, Felicia. I haven't used it a lot. I've been wanting to. Okay, here's where your grid sheets come in, as mine is turning sideways. And you can just kind of get an idea of where you're at and how far you're up. Sometimes it goes directly to the line. Sometimes you can tell it's a little high or a little low. And just get an idea of where you want your image to go. And it looks like my white fit perfectly. I thought I cut it a little extra, but maybe a tiny bit right here. Only I can see that, I'm sure, but okay, so we can set this aside. So our background, super simple again. We are going to take, ooh, that's one I forgot to get out. Our log here. This one. That is adhering very well to the plastic and won't let me get it out. All right, you are going to go on this block here. All right, taking my tree off. We're going to use this one. I want to make sure it's big enough. All right, now we're using early espresso. Move that over there. And what I did is I had the tip right here. It kind of goes out. My block is really dirty right there. Let me see. All right, so the tip kind of goes there, and that's how I kind of had it fit into the other spots. So I did early espresso, and I always start somewhat in the middle. Because if you start on the side, you're not going to have room. And this way, it works out to where you can get all your images close. So I just kind of went close. If they overlapped, it was not a big deal. And I just kind of did the pointy towards the inside. That way it kind of got a little closer to the other two. Again, turn your paper just like cutting or anything. It's better on your hands, your arms, and all your crafting, you know, motor skills here if you turn the paper. Don't make the paper do all the work. Don't do all the work on yourself. Okay, so just kind of turn it. No, Steph. All right, there you go. Super, super simple. All right, so now let that dry. We're going to move over to our sentiment. So what I did is I have a scratch piece of green, and I have this is kind of a scratch piece. It's all cut crooked. And so I'm going to find a straight, nice edge, which I like right here. And I'm going to say words are never enough because I really like the idea of having some of those on hand. And I decided to choose Cajun Craze for the sentiment. I just wanted something to pop a little bit different. I like how it goes with the colors. And I just decided to add a little pop of color there with that. And so now, because I'm doing it on the edge, my head might get in the way here, sorry. And go down towards the bottom, so you only have to cut on one side, and you can see the paper through your block, so you can kind of make sure the bottom part is even. Okay, so now my bottom part looks even, and now I just have to worry about the rest of the cutting. And it's a super small cut. And so I'm going to use my my little guillotine, which I just can't wait for them to come out with more. I still am going to cut a little bit on the bottom. And then I'm going to move it and cut the top. Okay, and I'm probably going to cut a little more on the top just because I cut a little more on the bottom, which this is going to be fun because now I want it to go this way. Now you can see some, okay, I don't like doing it on this one now. I think I'm going to hand cut this one. So I'm going to just go on the edge here. And for this, I'm going to use my longer scissors. And I'm just going to go straight down. All right, so there's my sentiment. And now I'm going to adhere it onto my green. And I'm just going to put it over here on this corner. But I think what I'm going to do is start out with a smaller piece. And I like to just, if you have one of these, you kind of get used to where your guidelines are, what you like. And that one I moved. This is such a little piece. And now I kind of want still a larger green, even though I cut my brown a little smaller. So what I'm going to do is add a little bit of glue. Felicia, I think I've used it once, but I kept thinking, all right, I want to do something with the trees. And then once my friend reminded me of the fog, I was like, oh yeah, I want to do that. But so many times, you know, you come across needing a masculine card, or, you know, sometimes the flowers are just too bright and cheery, and I just don't want something, you know, when you want to do a sympathy card, just something nice and, I don't know, relaxing and just kind of, all right, so I'm going to put that on there. All right, and now I'm going to put my dimensionals. Okay, so what I did is, because I popped up, oops, wrong side. I popped up the tree. I'm going to put glue on that side. I'm going to put the dimensional on this side. Right? All right. So now our tree, it's right here. We're going to put dimensionals. I'm going to put one in the middle. It's kind of a larger panel, so I don't want it to sag. In the middle. Yeah, I really like this. My daughter, I showed her the card last night, and she was like, oh, I love the tree, and I forgot what she called them. The tree planks, I think she said, the tree planks. And she's like, oh my gosh, I love the tree planks. Okay, so now I took some of this ribbon, which is, oh, not that one. All right, where did my ribbon go? I just had it. It's not it. You guys would laugh at me at how many baskets I have. I know, Stephanie, no comment, with different projects in it. I have class, I have videos. So it's this one here. It's the embroidered ribbon. And I just love the earth tony kind of feel of it. And it's so nice. I really like this. So that's what I'm using. What I like to do when I'm doing ribbon is I like to take some tear and tape, and I just put it along the back. Where is it? Oh, except I didn't put it on my green panel yet. Duh. All right, well, we're just going to take this off. We'll use that as part of our tape. All right. Right, Steph? I know. I have baskets everywhere. If you guys saw. And my project that I'm doing tomorrow is, I really had stuff all over my desk for that. So that's going to be fun. I hope you'll catch me tomorrow at noon, my regular time on Sunday. All right, so we're going to go ahead and adhere this on here. And then we're going to add our little tear and tape. Oh, she did. Well, I think for her wedding, she wanted, she did the wood planks on the table with, that was the base of her decorating. So she knew exactly what it was. All right, but I am doing a card with the mushroom necks from A Walk in the Woods. So, and that's another super really fast card too. All right, so I did my, I just kind of put it on there, kind of eyeballed it. That looks fine to me. But before I adhere my panel on top, I am going to put this on the card because it's already got sticky right here and I don't want it sticking to everything else. So as soon as I find my dimensionals, well, here's a new pack, but okay, there. All right, so we're going to put this on, and I did go ahead and just on the corner, just to kind of help. I didn't want to put it all the way on top because I don't want it to be higher in that spot. And again, it's kind of big. I just put a couple in the middle. All right. Super fun, super easy card, you guys. No die cutting. No die cutting. I tried to think, okay, let's, well, number one, I didn't have my die set, but it will be here. All right, so we're just going to center this right there. We're going to take our tree panel. Thanks, Karen. You know, sometimes I think you just need a card that's just simple, you know, just says what you want it to say. It's not about the card, it's more about the saying. And I think that this is just that card. Okay, so this is raised and this is not. So I put one dimensional to go over here so it can get level to this. And then I'm going to add some glue, just like that. Took that dimensional off. And I'm just going to put it right about there. All right, so on the inside of the card, this one, I think I already did this one, but on this, I actually just put the little leaf that was in that set. I mean, there's all kinds of choices that you could use for the inside, but I just decided to use the leaf last time, but since I sampled the tree, I need to cut it down. And then our insides are done. I'm going to cut on the bottom because this tree is floating. I don't really want it to be floating. And 5 1/4. Are you guys enjoying your crafting day? I told my husband, how dare us go to his new building site and look at it. He scheduled us for this morning, and I was like, I have card making day. I've got things I gotta see and do, and he just laughed at me. He's like, it'll still be there when you get back. Oh, what did I do right there? I think I still had wet ink, so let's see if this will work. I'm gonna try my little eraser. I know I'm off camera, sorry. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. I am going to bring in, we're going to try and save this. I'm going to bring in my mat, and I am going to bring in my tree and just quickly do another little tree here because I have ink on my card base, on my inside. So we are just going to do another short tree. See, there's always embellishments. There's always a fix. So here we go with our tree. And I'm just going to move it because I don't want it to be on my mat. And we're just going to make sure that we go right where that was. And there we go. Woo! Now we are ready. No, they don't. But he laughed and he went golfing and he's like, so I guess you're going to be doing a video when I get back. I'm like, yep. So don't come barging in. All right. So there we did. We fixed it. We have plenty of room to write over here. And that was a quick fix because I had a big old brown piece of ink and I think it came from here. But that's okay. So that is card number 2. Yay. Okay, the next one. Super simple. Thanks for staying with me, you guys. Super simple. I am going to move that and okay, here is the next one. Our mushrooms. I thought it was cute, simple. Again, just a nice card to just grab and go. Oh, I did die cut on this one. I forgot. So I did use the outside here. Let's see which one it was. On the layered squares. I tell my new my new class stampers. I have a lot of brand new stampers. Okay, so let me show you this real quick. If you're going to use the largest one over here, you're most likely going to use the largest one here. So mine go like this. It's largest. So this is really 1, 2, 3. They go back and forth. That's how they fit so nicely on these magnets. Okay, same here. This one, this is going to go with it here. So when I do sentiment here, it's going to fit. I'm just going to have that edge. Oh wait, let me double check this now that I say that. I think I went one more down. I think I did. Let's see. No, I must have used this one. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so anyway, it's just going to fit right inside on the little scallops. Oh, Olivia, good. Thanks. Thanks, Steph. Felicia, Bonnie, thank you, everybody. All right, so I'm going to use these to do my green and my white. So let's do my green really quick. And I'm actually going to do my white because it is, make sure I have my inside of my card. It is a super simple stamp. So let me just lean over here because I moved my machine even farther away because I was thinking I didn't need it. All right, so we're going to do the white. And I'm going to move it down towards the bottom and put that there. And I'm going to put the green on the top, put that there, and then put those through. Oh, what's funny is after today, after we did our hard hat tour of my husband's building, I said, oh, can we go stop by Starbucks on the way home? Because I wanted a coffee. I'm not a big coffee drinker. And he doesn't understand why I just don't drink coffee at home. Well, I don't like coffee unless it's got a whole bunch of cream in it. And I didn't want to tell him about the line until we got there. As we're pulling in the driveway, I said, now don't worry about if the line's long, like I knew it would be. It goes really fast. And so we're in line and he looks over at me and I said, just think of the quality time we're spending together right now. He just started laughing. Oh, he's calling me. He must have heard that I was talking about him. All right, let me let him know I'm doing the video because he's probably at a store asking a question. He's supposed to be picking up a plant for our new neighbors, so I bet you that's kind of what he's doing. All right. So here we have our set for our mushroom. I just want to make sure I got the right size. Yep. So really the sizes are fairly standard on what I am doing. I want to make sure I'm still on my phone so I can see comments, but so really what I do when I do my paper is usually this one is 4 by 5 1/4. This one's 3 3/4 by 5. So that's my normal measurements when I do full cards like this. However, this one, I decided I wanted the image to be the really big part of this. And so this one is, I believe this one is 4 by 5 1/4, but this one's like 4 1/8, 4 by 5 1/4, 4 1/8, and then 5 3/8, I believe. So I'll measure that. I'll put that on there for you, or I'll post it on my Facebook page. So make sure you go over there and I'll let you guys know when I measure it for sure. All right, so we're going to do our mushroom. So our mushroom, I didn't pull that one out yet because I was using my big block. So this one is super simple, super fast. And I like to put my stamps this way if I can instead of this way because I like my hands to be a little easier to hold it. So there we go. I use Cajun Craze. And then we are just going to pull it closer to me so I make sure it's somewhat straight. Okay, so there's that. We're going to let that dry for a bit. Oh, look what I did. That I don't think is fixable. So we're going to do that again. Sorry. I hate when that happens. All right, white piece, largest regular. While I wipe off my hands. All right, sorry about that. I'm not going to say that never happens because it happens all the time, right? All right, let me get into wipe my hands with my baby wipes. All right. Okay. All right, here we go again. Cajun Craze. All right, boop. Setting this aside. Okay, so now what I did is I brought in my paper, and I've showed you guys how to do this before, and made this little set here with our, this one's the in colors, so I'm going to pull out what I used. I just wanted to add a little bit something, you know, to make this a little more colorful, and to tie in colors. And so I chose to use the polka dots. So again, you're going to bring in this, and I just want the mushrooms on the top. I don't have to do the whole thing. Look at that. I knew. Okay. So now you're going to take your mushrooms and just put them, make sure they're on the dots, and then just stamp. And this is really a fun technique for anything. I've seen a lot of people recently with the gnomes, and you just stamp the image onto your designer series paper if you want them to be wearing a striped hat or, you know, whatever you want them to be wearing. And now we're going to cut this out. Ha ha, Stephanie. Stephanie is my local crafter and comes over and she helps me with my classes and helps me set up and stuff like that. So she's going to always be making fun of me, especially if I make a mistake. All right, so I just went around and cut out the outline also. So just kind of go around and make it as round as you can. And here I'm just going to cut straight across. I don't need all that. I just want the mushroom tops. And you'll see these little lines that are right there. Don't worry about that. You just really want the caps of the mushrooms. So, but I do go down and take the brown part. Okay, so there's that one. And so it's just a quick fussy cut. And I am going down underneath and then up. You don't want the stem. All right, almost done. I went ahead and left these two together because they just, one's kind of right in front of the other one. So I went as close to the line as possible just because it's a print and you don't want the print behind the mushroom. You want it to be the mushroom. So, and then come up the side of the stem, across here, and there we go. All right, so there's my mushrooms. All right, now we're going to do the back panel while my white is drying all the way. Super simple. Take your leaves. Oh, here it is. Take your leaf and you're going to pull out the colors that you want. So I used Cajun, Early Espresso, and no, you know what? I don't think that was Cajun. I think that was honey. I did honey because you can tell I did, this is a little more brown, this is a little more red. So I wanted to pull both colors in. So here we go. So now I went with the lightest first, and I don't think there's a reason. I think I just wanted to make sure that I get a lot of the lighter color in there. And again, turn your paper. So just kind of okay, and I'm going to do a little one up there. Just kind of get an idea. You do have a lot of colors, so you don't want to put too many. And I think I did 3 or 4 of each. So we're going to leave that. Oh, thanks, Bonnie. Probably years of figuring it out. And I think sometimes you get into projects that are so big that you finally get to a point that you don't want to mess up, and it's like, well, sometimes now it's kind of like, well, I'll just have to do it over. So I'm going to do the green. I just like it on the edge to make it kind of look like there's more there. And then we're going to pull in the cinnamon. All right. And a lot of it's covered up in the top, but you still want it. I don't want 2 stems going the same way, so I'm just going to do that. Okay, now I'm good with that. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. You know what's funny is look how easy these cards were. This is my third one, and right now is usually the time I stop a video that I do on my live. And here we are still just chugging along. All right, so we're gonna take our this and we're gonna adhere it on there. It's weird. I started using my silicone mat to do my Stampin' seal, and all of a sudden it's been working just fine without it. So, all right, so we're going to put that on. Now, again, we're going to use some twine, and I'm using the braided linen trim. I love this because you can undo it. See how it's all frayed right here? I just like that rustic look to it. Now, I have to tell you, my daughter laughed at this card. She was like, mushrooms, Mom, really? And I'm like, yeah, but sometimes you just want to, like, hey, thinking of you, or thanks for dinner, or whatever kind of card. And she's like, I don't know about the mushroom one. I like the other ones. Kids. I go, well, it is what it is. You got to be able to use every stamp in your set. Not really. But it's not a bad idea. Oh, you know, I really didn't have to do that because I forgot we're doing it from the back to the front. But that's okay because it'll make it stick. And I'm just going to tie it in a knot. Thank you, Bonnie. All right, so we're going to just get this to lay. I'm going to bring my mat in again because now I've got adhesive on the back. And I think I'm pulling it down and go flat. All right, so now what we're going to do is tie a little knot. And we can always move it down once we figure out where we want it. So, but for now it's going to be nice and secure, and I don't care what the knot looks like. It's just going to be a fun little knot. We're going to cut that down a little bit. Now let's adhere our mushroom. Now we got to bring in our little mushroom pieces. And I used glue. That way I can just kind of move them into the spot where I want. You don't need a lot. It's DSP, not... now where did my tweezers go? I like to use the tweezers. I don't know where they went. So we'll use these ones, which are not my favorite, but that's okay. And we're just going to kind of lay it down. Okay, just tap it on. So now we'll take these. Okay, you can see how the red outline is there. And there's a little red splotch right there, but we're going to fix that. All right, here we go. Super simple cards, you guys. No die cutting. I mean, very little. You didn't have to die cut this. You could have just cut out a green piece that's just a little bit bigger than your image. All right, I'm going to move that over just a little bit. It's so close. All right, I'm going to turn it over because I pulled a little piece of paper there. All right, it's still not even. Hold on. I'm going to start it at the bottom so I know it's even. There we go. All right, now we popped this up. Oh, those are my small ones. Don't want those. So again, for those of you that joined me a little bit late, I talked at the beginning about some specials going on. So don't forget to watch the beginning. And of course, I would love it if you guys subscribe, if you liked the video, if you can like it. I really appreciate that. All right, I'm going to move this down a little bit. And then we'll move it back up where we want it once this is on. Today was a video day that was not normal for me, but I just had to come on. So if you do the notifications, you will get notified when I come on. All right, so I think what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to add a little bit of tear and tape just to keep my ribbon where I want it so it doesn't slide around. I know I put those on there, but I'm not worried about it because I'm going to put a glue dot. I always like to put a glue dot underneath my bow. All right, who took my glue dots? Oh, I think they're in my other, okay. They're in my basket of what I did last night, of what you guys are going to see tomorrow, but there's like, I don't know, 5 left, I think. So, isn't this the best thing? You open a brand new thing of glue dots. All right, so I'm just going to kind of roll it up under there. Now what I like to do is I'm going to cut these a little shorter, like right about there. And then I like to fray them out. So just take the edge, the bottom, and just kind of, it's just braided. So you can just slowly work your way up. And then you'll have your little fray. Same with the side. I think it just gives it a little bit more of that natural kind of earthy look. But when I use it like on my poinsettia cards, I like it just because it adds another little element when you fray it and just add it in. All right. Now we are going to pop this one up also on top of here. So more dimensionals. 3 cards, you guys. Woo woo. Thanks for sticking with me. When people ask me, what should I add? I need another $10 or I need another $20 to make the party amount. I always say dimensionals. Dimensionals or adhesive of some kind. Always a good thing to have. Because that would just be the worst to have to go get adhesive. All right, what did I do on the inside? I did the world needs more of what you are. I just thought no sentiment on the front. I did the circle, and then I was like, oh, I just didn't like anywhere it fit on the front. So I did punch that out, but we're not going to punch it out this time just because that's not my norm anyway. So we are going to take a block here. I feel like I'm in a treasure box over here. And I think I'm going to do it in black. So we're going to take our memento, just stamp it in the middle. Okay, let that dry for a second. And then we are going to take our leaf, and I'm going to use Bumblebee just to kind of finish it off. Make sure I get my little puddle of wet in there. I'm just going to go over it like that just to tie it in. And that is it. We're going to adhere that in here. Now you notice I laid it down, but I'm holding it right here with my hand very straight so that it doesn't move around. And then I'll pick it straight up. It's probably dry by now, but I just don't like to chance it sometimes. All right, you guys, so there's one card. Here, let's turn this over. All right. 1, 2, and 3. So there are our cards for the day. Yay! And probably 10 minutes longer than my normal videos on other cards. That's how quick these cards were. Super simple, super fun. The items should be listed below. I have to say, last time when I said the items were listed below, for whatever reason, YouTube did not take my previous setup and post it. It actually posted a new video instead of the one I had all set up, so they weren't listed. So if they are not listed, they will be. But I will be posting this on my blog by the end of the day. I'm going to go try and catch some other videos and clean up. But I will have all of this posted so you guys can see it. And thank you so much for joining me. Again, don't forget the DSP is on sale, 15% off all month. The Curvy Celebrations is available for pre-order on November 3rd. And you can get it through January 4th. It's going to come out in the new catalog in January, the new mini catalog that comes out. Here's a sneak peek. I know they were going to make some changes. This was available, and then they did some changes on it. Oh, you're welcome, Felicia. Shauna, thank you. Oh, you're so sweet. Thanks, Olivia, Bonnie, Felicia. You guys are great. Steph, thanks so much for joining me, everybody. So this is going to be a quick, fun, great bundle, and I'll be doing cards on that soon. Cindy, thank you. I really do appreciate you guys joining me. I have so much fun crafting with you guys. I will be back tomorrow for a super fun project. It will not be cards. It will be Christmas related. But I think it's something that you're going to enjoy. It's something very, very different. I have not seen, not that it hasn't been done, but it's a little bit different. So I hope you'll join me tomorrow at noon Pacific time. I'm in California, so it's noon my time. And I think that's about it. If you guys are interested, if you're not a demonstrator and you are interested in joining, I would love to have you join my team. And if you want that Curvy Celebrations, you can add that to your kit when you sign up. So you can get it now and not have to wait until November. So that's a fun thing. And I think that's about it for now. If there's not any questions, as always, if you guys want to see something created with a particular stamp set that you might be interested in, let me know, and if I have it, I will definitely try and create something for you to give you some ideas. I am always here to enable, just like I see others. And like this Rooted in Nature was one of those stamp sets. I was like, I don't know. I'm more of a different, you know, kind of look stamper. And when I saw several projects with it, I was like, okay, I have to have it. I love trees. I buy all the trees. But I had so many other tree stamps, I thought, I don't need this one. But now, look how quick and simple these cards were. And I loved it. So I hope you guys did too. Thank you so much. Don't forget to join me on my blog, which is marciebessaker.com. I will be posting this video along with measurements and more information over there. And on my Facebook page, Marcie Bessaker Designs, if you go over there and like that page, you will also get a notification that I'm going live on YouTube. Sometimes I do lives over there. And I do post a lot of specials, upcoming things, and that type of stuff over on my Facebook page. And that's a great place to chat. So I'd love to have you guys over there also. I hope you guys have a great day. Go enjoy yourself watching more videos of National Card Making Day. And don't forget to like their videos also. We really try hard to inspire you, and you inspire us by liking and sharing our videos. And I appreciate it very much. You guys have a fantastic day.